call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Calvadas.
Here.
Mr. Kapadas.
Here.
Mrs. Passio.
Here.
Mrs. Moore. Here. Mr. Booth.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Here. Mr. Farrell.
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here.
Mr. Bayshore.
Here.
Mr. Lynch.
Here.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 6, 2014. Emailed to the retrospect and current post on January 6, 2014. We have approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Minutes are approved. Reports, Julie.
We have the report of the construction official for the month of January. A total of $9,411 was collected in various permits and fees, including COs. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the police chief for the month of January. A total of $204.30 was collected for various accident discovery reports, solicitor reports, open requests, and firearm permits. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the municipal court for the month of December. So, no, we have, one second. The month of November, total $9,445.68 was collected, and for December, $11,003.15. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the borough clerk for the month of January. A total of $2,013.90 was collected for various permits, licenses, including pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. The report of the registrar of vital statistics for the month of January. A total of $3,567 was collected in January, and I want to amend my report for December. There was an additional $1,000 collected, which brought the total to, I believe, $4,100 for death permits. They were what I collected in Barrington while I was on vacation. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the fire marshal for the month of January. A total of $1,822 was collected in fire fees. There were 72 inspections completed, 142 incidents, one type 1 permit issued, and total EMS fees collected $13,852.85. All these fees were monies returned over to the treasurer. In the report of the tax collector for the month of January, the total of $1,764,163.34 was collected in taxes, and $15,034.28 collected in sewer rentals. And that's all we have.
I'm honored. Can I have a motion on the reports?
I so move. I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Communications.
The first communication is a letter from Michael Amato resigning as a special police officer.
Make a motion to receive and file.
I second that motion.
Let me
Do the vote at the same time.
The next one is from Pat Henry from the Trinity Church Pantry. Is a letter to all employees thanking them for their generosity during the holidays.
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
And I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Good reports. Nick.
Yes, because of the extensive caucus meeting, I'm just going to rely on our report from caucus and report progress. Thank you.
Oh, my. We all said, wow. Eleanor, Public Safety.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We all know that during the snowstorms and bad weather in January, our EMS were extremely busy with calls. It's amazing that these men work 24/7 around the clock and are there for us in the most terrible weather. It was extremely cold. We had a lot of snow, and they worked throughout the time handling all these calls for service. Their professionalism was tested with many calls for service, including tracking a cardiac emergency that was originally dispatched to Runnemede and ended up in Magnolia. And the crew was able to locate the caller and transport the patient to the hospital, along with paramedics in the early morning hours with 8 inches of snow. They also responded to 2 major accidents on the New Jersey Turnpike. One was an extended extrication of a person trapped in an overturned trailer. All our men, EMT and firefighters, worked cohesively with other agencies such as the New Jersey State Police and the Cherry Hill Fire Department and the medical examiner to accomplish all these wonderful services for our community. And we're very grateful to them for their service. In the police department, we had 32 motor vehicle crashes. We had 83 arrests. This is just for the month of January. And traffic summonses, 94. And they were very active also, as you can imagine, with the bad weather. That's it, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Public Defense.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. 2014 dog and cat license must be renewed by March 31st. Our free rabies clinic is Saturday, March 8th at the Harry Williams Community Center from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Microchipping your animals is available through the AWA at $25. They will be selling some fleet products and other pet supplies. And also, the Rugby Women's Club will be accepting donations on that day. These donations will be given to an animal shelter. Our first Green Team meeting will be on Thursday, March 13th at 3:15. And then we will have another one for the convenience of anyone who works at 7 p.m. that evening. Everyone is welcome, and we are always looking for new members and new ideas to help make our town green. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women in the United States, claiming more lives than all forms of cancer combined. For more than 10 years, the American Heart Association has sponsored National Wear Red Day to raise awareness in the fight against heart disease in women. So let's celebrate National Wear Red Day with Go Red for Women on Friday, February 7th to help fight women's #1 killer, heart disease. And soon, my committee and myself will be reaching out to our youth to invite them to become part of our Youth Mayor and Council Week. And that will be a very exciting week for all of us. So with that, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Public Works, Beverly.
Go Bob.
I'm thinking.
Oh, all right, I'll go. I'm so used to being at the end of the list here. It's been extremely challenging, to say the least, with the weather. It has not been cooperating on any level, but I will say with the size of the crew that I have and the equipment that I have available, I think they have done an outstanding job. We have had minimal complaints. I would again like to express my sincere requesting that you guys, the residents, continue to help us along in this quest to keep the streets clear. Please don't throw the snow in the streets, and if it's at all possible, please park your vehicles in your driveways. It helps in the plowing. It just helps make things move a lot quicker and a lot smoother. Every street is important, so please, if you're out there and your street is not on the top of the list, please know that it will get done, and they will finish until every street is done. They stay on the job until every street is done. With the impending weather that's coming up, hopefully not too bad tonight, they will be coming in around 1 a.m. and they will be working throughout the course of the day to try to stay on top of it as far as salting goes, and hopefully it will just turn into a rain event. We were planning on having the bathrooms painted at the Borough Hall this week, but the weather has put a little damper on that. We are painting two bathrooms out in the main hallway. We are installing hand-free soap dispenser and hand-free towel dispensers, as well as energy-saving light switches that will be activated when you walk into the room instead of them being all away. I want to also thank everyone for their understanding in the canceling of Recycle a few weeks back. I did use social media as well as the local blog and everyone else that I know in town, and everyone was very cooperative. They spread the word got out there through everyone that was on Facebook, and we had a pretty good turnout. There were very few people that complained, and very few people put their stuff out. And they will be recycling again this week, which is the scheduled week. We are working actively towards trying to do recycling every week. So I'm going to meet with my committee, and we're going to meet with the department, and we're going to try to see if we can work out any kinks that would help to move that along. The residents overall agree that it would be a benefit, and I think it might help to move things along quickly when they go out, because there won't be as much out there. So before any decisions made, everybody will be notified, and we'll just try to move forward with that. That's the big on the horizon thing. So thank you very much, and I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared. My computer cracked out.
Thank you.
Mr. Bradford? Thanks, Mayor. As a committee, we've been driving around assessing the roads while staying in touch with Mark on the best ways to approach our road problems, what we can see them. Other than that, progress.
Mike Ruth,
Thank you, Mayor.
you're welcome.
Park and Recreation's moving a little slow right now because of the snow. I've been working with Bev for her to plow the grass, but they won't do that. So, right now, we're just waiting on the snow to melt to get some slabs poured and get the fence, keep going with the fences at the RY. Green Acres needs some slabs, and again, it snowed down there too, so Park and Recreation is just getting in prices right now, and I'm waiting for good weather and then start to melt. Rest is progress.
Thank you, Mike. Sorry for that. Administrator Richard?
Two additional items as a follow-up to the caucus. The first one is per statute. At the next regular council meeting, I'm required to give you the summary of the note sale. We sold bond anticipation notes on the 5th. For the 5th, we sold them on the 27th. And we had 4 bidders. The top, or the lowest bid was from TD Bank. The amount of the bond anticipation note being sold was $3,392,000, or $3,392,000. TD bid 0.70%. The next bidder was First Colonial, who bid 0.839%. Jeffries LLC, which is a trading company, bid 1.345%, and Oppenheimer and Company bid 1.371%. So I just wanted to bring up to speak for that. The net interest cost on that period would be $23,678. And these notes are also callable, which means that they can be bought back early, because the intent of the finance committee is to permanently finance our bond anticipation notes this year. And I'll report on that later. The other second item was I had reviewed our prior accounts and items that we have pending, and I'm requesting an appropriation transfer for the accounts that you have listed. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Mr. Brad?
Progress.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. I'm sorry.
Follow that, Mark.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I submitted my report in writing prior to last week's caucus. There's 4 things I'd like to talk about, though, one of which affects tonight's agenda. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, we took bids for the sewer root control. As I talked about last week at caucus, one of the bids was received late because the FedEx delivery was delayed by snow. The solicitor sent me an email saying we should reject that bid because it was late. So that only leaves one bid, and because it's non-competitive, we're recommending that we reject that bid and re-advertise. So we should have a resolution on tonight's meeting to reject that bid, authorize us to go out for another bid, and we're gonna change the scope a little bit in order to reduce the bid and get it under budget. The other things is the bathroom at Beaver Branch Park. We were getting ready to turn that over to the borough, but one of the electronic locks was not functioning properly, so that had to be replaced. The contractor is currently waiting for a new lock to come in. As soon as we get that lock installed, we'll be able to turn over the bathroom to the borough and then make final payment to the contractor. There's 2 doors at this building, the side egress door. We are working with the engineering committee to get 3 quotes to get that area fixed. And the same way with the damaged front door, we're in the process of getting 3 quotes to get that fixed as well. As soon as we get those in, we'll report to council and hopefully take action at the next council meeting. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mark.
Count both doors.
Yes.
That's okay. And old business. I don't think we have any old business. New business.
Resolution 1424 is a resolution confirming 2014 appointments. The road department, Nicholas Fritz, road superintendent, at $60,000 per year, and Carl Stephen Holmes, seasonal laborer, at $13.18 per hour.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I second that motion.
And I just want to say, Nick was unable to make it. He was planning on coming tonight, and he is not coming because they will be up very early, so.
I can
He extends
understand.
his appreciation, and he did. He extended his appreciation and his thanks to everybody, so.
Yeah, I need a roll call on this.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1425 is a resolution awarding a 2014 contract to number 1 Borough Spa Car Wash for the washing and vacuuming of police cars. It's $3,100 and hasn't changed from last year.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I second that motion.
And roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1426 is a resolution authorizing an interlocal services agreement between the Borough of Runnemede and Barrington for Deputy Registrar of Voter Statistics.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I'll second.
A roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1427 is a resolution authorizing an interlocal services agreement between the Borough and Barrington for payroll services.
I make a motion.
I second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Moore? Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
And Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1428 is a resolution authorizing property maintenance lien.
I make a motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1429 is a resolution authorizing adjustments to sewer accounts.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth? And Mr. Capano?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1430 is a resolution awarding a contract to Office Basics as part of the cooperative pricing system with Bedford County for office accounts.
I make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Capano?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
And Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
We've been doing that for years.
I know, yeah.
Resolution 1432 is a resolution authorizing the sale of borough property through an online auction.
This is the trailer,
No,
What is their rate?
these are the,
the Dodge Ram.
there's a lot of things.
The trip
I have a motion.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Ruth.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1434 is a resolution rejecting all bids for chemical weed control due to the unavailability of funds.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
May I just suggest that you may want to consider amending this to also include that to re-advertise?
It is.
And we-
Be it further resolved, the mayor and council
I
authorize the
apologize.
re-advertising.
I apologize. I missed that be further resolved, sorry.
She put it in there. Did we go on?
Yes, please.
Okay. Did you second that?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1435 is a resolution authorizing an interlocal services agreement between the Borough of Runnemede and the County of Camden for animal warding services.
May I have a motion?
I so move.
I second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1436 is a resolution authorizing an interlocal services agreement between the Borough and the County for 2014 to 15 municipal alliance grants, not fiscal, from June through, from July through next year. June.
I have a motion.
I so move.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1437 is a resolution authorizing the sale of borough property which is no longer of value to the borough.
I make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1438 is a resolution regulating salaries of the employees. This starts the mass salary
Yes, the right side.
adjustment from last week, and I hope we have it correct. Rich and I worked on this tonight, trying to get this correct. The first one is the judge, is a $500 increase.
Right.
The public defender is a $500 increase. We are unable to include the prosecutor in this because he is paid through contract, correct? So we have to amend his contract, and I did not do it. Okay. So I have to figure out how to do that. Also, a part-time violations clerk, who is Alice in the court,
Yes.
she went up 50 cents an hour. That's the beginning.
Well, sometimes I think you do that.
No.
I make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passy.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Capaz.
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
If you send the prosecutor's contract, God bless you, I'll prepare an appropriate amendment and send it to you so you can put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
We just
It's a
got-
tiny little thing, a little comment.
Yeah, that's all, but just like to make reference to it, we'll do a little short resolution amending the contract.
Is there a contract with the judge? I guess.
Yeah, I-
Yeah.
Because it's a multi-year appointment.
The judge is 3 years,
Prosecutors,
right?
prosecutors,
Yeah.
prosecutors, that's the,
There's trouble. The next public defender comes on will be a contract also, part of the phase out of the 2008 rules.
Oh.
But because he doesn't have break in service, it's renewed each year. He's the last one.
So he's been on here for so long. Mr.
Thank you.
Okay, ready for the first reading?
Mhm.
First reading, ordinance 1403. This is an ordinance to receive the municipal budget appropriation amendments of the established cafe. This is the poll ordinance.
I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of March, 2014.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Capano.
Yes.
Ordinance 1404 is an ordinance granting renewed consent and permission to South Jersey Gas Company to use the public streets to furnish gas for light, heat, and power in the Borough of Runnemede. This is the ordinance that amends the ordinance from 50 years ago
Yeah.
that allows the gas to run through our streets.
It's another 50 years.
Yes.
Another 50 years.
I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of March, 2014.
Roll call.
Second that motion.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Capano.
Yes.
6 ayes. Resolution 1405. I'm sorry, ordinance 1405 is an ordinance amending the mercantile license ordinance. Chapter 240.
I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of March, 2014.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Capano.
Yes.
6 ayes. Resolution ordinance 1406 is an ordinance establishing the position of confidential secretary in the Borough of Runnemede.
I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of March, 2014.
I second that.
Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Capano.
Yes.
6 ayes. Ordinance,
It's adopted. Or no, it's not.
No,
It's an ordinance.
That's it.
It's in-
Just first reading.
Ordinance 1407 is an ordinance authorizing the creation of a tier structure for crossing guards for payroll purposes. I really wish you would look this over and see if this is exactly what you want.
Everybody want to look at it? It's a starting salary.
Yes, it's the same. It's
Yeah,
what Sarah
something
stated.
decided
Oh,
on
this
the
is the
caucus.
crossing guard one? We remember that.
But is it the way that it's worded correct? The tiers, up to 1 year?
Service. And
Anniversary date, right?
I was just double checking that that's what we.
Yeah, anniversary date.
Right, it says that.
Because they start September through.
There's year, school year,
Is
but
that-
right now we deal with people on anniversary days, so. it's-
Correct. Is that appropriate, Len? Is that enough in there?
Well,
Tier.
I like things to be painfully late. So,
What would you make?
Oh, we can't change that.
part-time supervising EMT, so the rate change is based on.
Well, we're on.
Oh, but no,
I
the crossing guard.
I apologize, I turned to the wrong one.
Yeah. also-
Oh, here we go.
And then you're just.
Yes,
That's
perfect.
pretty much what we.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Joyce, it's fine.
That's okay?
That's fine.
1407, I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise it on the law.
I second that
Public
motion.
hearing to be held on the 4th day of March.
What was that?
Then kind of a roll call?
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Capano.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Oh, next one's a rage.
Resolution ordinance 1408. This is an ordinance regulating salaries. Now, some of your desires of last week cannot be accomplished because the range wasn't any good. So we had to change the ranges.
Okay.
So the part-time supervising EMT will now be 9 to 15 to cover the increase. I think it's $13.25, is that it, Rich? And it's only up to $12. Do we need to amend the other, or we already amended that? The regular EMT?
The regular EMT goes to 15.
Is that what we discovered? I can't remember now, there was so many.
So you want to add that, $9 to $15 for a regular, we call it regular?
Do we need to put that in there?
No,
That was already done.
the range was sufficient.
That was already
Oh, it's already
done.
there?
It was this one that was never done. And special police officers, we had to do the class ones, we had to change the range of class twos.
Nine.
So this will have to be adopted before you can do anything.
Any questions?
Does this surpass what they were getting paid before, because we were returning them to whatever they were getting paid?
No, this is just establishing that we can pay it.
Before you can, before they can do the resolution, we have to establish the range.
All right, I make a motion, okay, make a motion, then we can talk about it. Motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of March 2014.
Second.
I got it. No, I got it.
Okay.
I'm good. Thanks.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
Mr. Ruth.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
6 ayes.
That's good, now the ordinances, right?
You have an add-on resolution.
You have an add-on. This one.
What resolution is that?
This is a budget transfer.
Budget transfers.
Budget transfer.
Here.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Here it is, I apologize, I was putting hand it down there.
We got 239.
So 1439,
There you go.
39,
that's
Oh, no.
resolution to make
1409.
1439.
transfers.
39?
Transfer reserves. Isn't this reserves, Rich?
It's a resolution.
Transfer reserves.
Yeah. I make a motion to approve. These are bills that need to, that are already covered, we just have to do one,
I second that motion.
Who made the,
Nick.
You seconded it?
Yes. Oh, 47.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas?
Yes.
6 ayes.
Not yet.
Do we get a budget or?
Got it.
They're good?
David, the bills?
No, we're good. Okay?
Good and welfare. This is the good and welfare part of the program. Anyone wishing to have anything to say, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Is this for issues or
If you want
anything?
to come up, you gotta,
Yep.
No, anything.
For anything?
Anything.
Okay. My name is Henry Dorada. Good evening, Council. My name is Henry Dorada. I'm at 400 Sheffield Court in Runnemede. I'm seeking advice from council or assistance or whatever. I have an issue. It started with Hartford Arms in the Meadows and also right now with Metropolitan. What they do is they plow the streets and they push the snow across Hartford Drive. It is, I forget, Providence Road, and they push the snow as excuse me, I'm losing my train of thought. In 2010, I called the police department several times. I didn't know where to go, who to contact. So, taking advice from other people is that, they told me to call the police. So I started calling the police. I have proof that they pushed the snow against my fence. At that time, in 2010, I got pictures showing that they damaged my fence. In the past, I used to have a picket fence there, okay? And it was the Hartford Arms at the time. I could not prove that they damaged my fence, but there's always damage near the street where Providence, comes to my fence. And I knew they were plowing there. So I eventually replaced the fence. Now I have a vinyl fence there. Okay? As I said, 2010, I got proof that they pushed the snow up there and they separated my fence. I fixed the fence. I told them, I went to Jackie Mills when it was Harper Arm. I went to, her name was Pat, the manager of, the Meadows. And today I was just talking to Tiffany from Metropolitan. Okay. First of all, Jackie always lied to me saying that they didn't do this, and I got pictures of the truck pushing the snow. And also, I know it's the Metropolitan truck. Okay, I talked to the chief of police. You know, the only thing he told me was, you know, every time they do this, you know, call the police so they can make a police report. I have the police reports. Okay. Now, I don't know if I should ask council to do something about this, put signs up there for a fine for pushing snow. Now, there's other 2 streets down there which they do the same thing. They're smaller streets. But my street, Providence Road, that backs up to goes right perpendicular to my house, is a big street. So the other ones, I can see the little cloud pushed up against their fence, and there's one street that don't have a guardrail, one street does, okay? And they still push it. I don't mind the borough plowing parallel to mine, because they don't push the snow that much up against the curb, okay? But when they go perpendicular and push it directly into my fence, is when they damage my fence, okay? I prefer not to request for a guardrail there,
I was just
because
gonna ask if you have a car.
I don't have a guardrail.
Okay.
And what happens is that, you know, every person says that they don't do that. But I got pictures of them. I took a picture, you know, at night when I was doing this. I don't want to injure the guy. I don't want to punch the guy in the face. But every manager says the same thing. They don't do this. And the police chief says, "Are you sure it's them?" And he asked me for the license plate number. I can't see the license plate number at that night, but I see the markings on the side of the truck. Okay. I don't know if I should. Next thing I should do is, I was told to go to court and file a complaint against them, but that costs me money. Okay. So I don't know if it's. And my wife always says that's not, you know, it's not my property or whatever. It's the 10 feet is the borough and all that stuff, but I got to take care of it. Plus, they're hitting my fence. Okay. If you put signs up there saying plowing against this fence, and Tiffany says, the new manager says they cannot plow Crawford Drive. It belongs to the borough. Well, why do they push snow across Crawford Drive onto my property? Okay, that's the issue that I got. I don't want them to be damaging my fence. I don't want them to.
I don't know the answer to this. The borough have an
Yeah, we have an ordinance that you can't push snow into the.
off your
Yeah.
property.
I got pictures here that shows today.
I live down the street and I
You see,
I see how they do
plow
it, right
across.
into the fence.
It's obvious. I
It's
see exactly
obvious.
what you're saying. Can council just, how about council sends a letter?
but that's fine. I told Tiffany.
That was the first step. I mean,
Yeah.
Just letting them know the ordinance, or we have to keep it, or it can come from us.
Yeah, either way.
Because I think if they get it from us, I think they'll take it a little more seriously.
And I think 2011, there's the sergeant that came the 3rd time that year, went over and talked to the manager. It stopped for a little while, but all of a sudden, you know, they forget or anything. They don't tell the driver not to do this. Now, Tiffany, the manager, said today, she got the, you know, all the people together, or the building manager or supervisor said that they're not going to do it anymore. But he did mention that I was coming to council tonight and bringing this issue up. Okay.
I'll make sure we send it.
I'm tired of it.
We can do a letter. We can do a letter.
And then we can charge them, I mean, we could do it through our code enforcement, instead of you taking it to court. We can do it through our code.
Thank you very much. You know, it's driving me crazy. It really upsets
I
me
understand.
that they do this. And to me, I had nothing, I had no direction or no avenue to go to except go to court. And I don't want to do that. You know.
Take care of it. We'll start it. Absolutely, we'll start it.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Rana.
Thank you very much.
It's out, it's out.
Hi, Bernie Wilson, 990 Left for Rec. 729 West Huntsville Road. Resolution 1437. Authorizing the sale of borough property which is no longer running in the borough.
That's the car, that's the truck and the trailer that you put the offer.
Okay, is that accepted?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And to touch on the gentleman's situation, there is a Title 39 code, police department can
Yeah.
write for that also. I think it might be 39-4-177, not too sure about
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I get a copy of your letter?
What's up?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
What's your address?
400 Shepherd
400
Road.
Shepherd. And the rest. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Have a motion to close.
Oh, wait, can I just say?
Make a
Sorry.
Well, I was ready to close it.
Maria Fantarella, 12 South Oakland Avenue. I just want to publicly thank Public Works. I thought Mr. Rhodes was going to be here tonight, but for those of you that know about the previous ice storm or don't, earlier this month, it was Public Works that saved. I mean, there was still, you know, a 10-car accident on the way to Bolton School, but they were the ones that ultimately helped the hill. I sent you a message as well as the Public Works employees that showed up, and it was amazing what they did because that hill was treacherous to say the
They are
least.
prepared for tomorrow. They are.
Well, that's okay. I was just notified that we have a 2-hour delay tomorrow, but again, I just wanted to publicly thank them all.
I was in touch with Mr. Amici last night.
All right, before you sit down, I want you to, if you can, tell the council, just put it on record for future use. Can you tell me basketball's use of the Harry Williams building?
Yes, I actually got, I have numbers for you. On Sundays, we don't. Runnemede Youth Athletic Association currently uses it from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And as of right now, we're actually canceling practices that are scheduled there because of the weather situation. We have games that we've canceled, weather-related cancellations. So not only are we practicing there on Sundays, but we're actually canceling some of the practices just to get games in at this point. Like this Sunday, we had to cancel all the practices from, right now the way it's scheduled is we have 2 teams in there starting at 9 a.m. and then it goes all the way, it goes until 8:45 is when the last practice is officially, wrapped up. But as I said, and that's 2 teams for every hour. It's 2 teams at 9, 2 teams at 10.
14.
Correct. We actually have many more. We have I think 32 in-house teams and then 7 travel teams. And what that is our Runnemede teams for each grade level play local towns. Like we play Gloucester Township, we play Hatton Heights, and it's just an interleague. We're fortunate that we have a big in-house program for basketball, but other towns don't. So they put together 1 travel team per each group. And it's quite a bit more expensive. But the bottom line is that, like I said, right now we actually, last Sunday we were able to get away with it because some of the practices were canceled because of the Super Bowl, so we were able to fit some games in. But this Sunday I've got, I have notifications right now that I had to make sure that practices were canceled so that we could do link-up games.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a motion to close the
I didn't know if it was public part of the
All those in favor?
I second that motion.
Can I have an adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.